Well, good evening, everybody. And what we're going to discuss tonight is a battle royale, which has actually turned into several battle royales. Now, this all started this at the beginning of this week, more or less, with a individual who was calling themselves Mert Punisher. Now, Mert Punisher made some rather interesting threats just before they eliminated their account. And when they eliminated their account, all their uh, postings went with it, or at least they think. But more on that in a future broadcast. But tonight we're going to discuss another battle royale. Now it seems that um, the high command has upped their game a little bit, and what has happened is that and towards the end of the week, Levi Page put up a statement that goes something like this. And basically, what happened was someone went to his aunt on private property, said she was a publisher writing a book, and told my aunt her name was Karen. She told her I was involved in child trafficking. Now, the problem here is that it turns out her name is not Karen. And in a conversation that um, took place, um, it would appear that um, it was, in fact, Randy Lynn Erickson. Um, Now, it basically reads that heavy set, shoulder length hair. This is her. This is actually the second slide. I loaded them backwards. This is the introduction of the private messaging. And it was basically his aunt contacted him and said there is a woman looking for him about a child trafficking ring. And Levi asked for a description of the woman and sent her a picture. And this is the picture. She identified it. So Karen is now Randy Erickson. Now, this is puzzling in a number of ways and also has opened up a whole can of worms, not only for the rest of us, but for Timmy and Randy, where they have given permission now for people to go to relatives, employers, and what have you, and start accusing people of things. And there's plenty to accuse Timothy Holmseth and Randy Lynn Erickson of. Now, when you create a situation where you are doing things like going to private residences of relatives and blindsiding them with these absolutely insane accusations, you are committing a felony, especially in the state of Tennessee. Now, not only that, but you are giving carte blanche to anyone who wants to do exactly what Randy Lynn Erickson did. And this brings me back to this Mert Punisher account. For one of the threats that this individual made to me is that he or she, it's more than likely a she, is going to go after anyone who is A, against Tim Holmseth, and B, anyone getting too close to Tim Homestead because Mert Punisher, whoever it is extremely jealous of anyone that is having a close or intimate relationship with Timothy Charles Homestead. And that includes supporters of Tim like IBT, a woman by the name of Kathy, and others. And it also includes, of all things, Butterfly, Mama, I believe her handle is, and others that are in the middle of this turf war, or whatever you want to call it, over on Telegram. And so we have a battle royale going on over there. Now, Levi did make this statement in regards to what is going on here. Uh, he says, I am furious, absolutely beyond words furious. A woman knocked on my aunt's door. This is clear and absolute proof that Randy simply refuses to tell the truth. She is so ashamed of her conduct and the legal ramifications of what she is doing that she does not give out her real name. Unfortunately for Randy, the woman identified her positively, so we have an eyewitness to this crime, which can be used if it ever comes to court, either criminal or civil. And it is likely that because of the nature of this particular neighborhood, there are security cameras at either the aunt's house or neighbors' houses or any nearby business and so forth. So it is going to be easy to identify um, not only Randy Erickson, but the car that she is operating. Now, Tim Holmseth told another lie here a few months back and stated that he had sold the Nissan Rogue. Um, he stated that he signed it over to someone in Minnesota and he no longer owned the car. Well, this is patently false because, as it turns out, he renewed the registration on the Nissan Rogue in July. And also, he did a rather interesting video. And in the video, he goes all over the place with his camera in the car. And you see the Nissan trademark on the steering wheel. You see identifying uh, pieces of information in the um, interior of the car, the dashboard, the side window, the seats, all kinds of things that makes this easily recognizable as the very same car he has been driving since it was purchased for him, allegedly by his publisher. And the car seems to be running perfectly fine. So I am not understanding why he needs to spend $40,000 of other people's money for another car. He could maintain the car he's got and have no problem with it. These cars easily go 400,000 miles with proper maintenance, and it certainly is a hell of a lot cheaper than going out and buying another car. Um, and of course, he's incapable of supporting himself in buying a car. Now, let me take a look and see what we got going on here. Now, another thing that they have done is that they have gone after Alexander Goddard again. Now, why have they gone after Alexander Goddard? Well, Alexander Goddard was on a interview with CNN, and this apparently put Tim Holmseth in a rage because the one thing he can't stand is the fact that he is not able to get on CNN, HLN, and so forth. Nobody wants to pay any attention to him. Not the mainstream, not Lynn Wood, not Michael Flynn, not um, Mr. Straight, 107. I mean, nobody wants any part of him. And this is the reason that he is going after these people and turning them into some kind of a pedophile or rapist or murderer. Now, I'm not sure why he came up with this one, but he is now accusing Levi Page of being involved in the murder of Christopher Hallett of E-Claws. Now, this in spite of a huge, excuse me, amount of evidence that uh, points to Neely Petrie Blanchard as the assailant. Tim Holmseth insists on accusing Levi Page, me, and a dozen others of being involved with this particular murder with no proof at all. And as I've stated in previous live streams, people over on the various social media accounts where he hangs around are beginning to wake up to this. Now, he has his core loyalists, of course, and probably all he ever will, but he has these half dozen or so followers that um, go after people he doesn't like. And that's being clear by what he's posting. Now, Tim Holmseth has absolutely positively no proof of anything. The state of Florida has concluded that it was Neely Blanchard that committed the murder. They have the evidence to prove it. After the first of the year, there's going to be a trial, and all this will come out. And it's interesting to note that Tim Holmseth refuses to release this evidence. He just makes this stuff up out of the top of his head, and that's it. Now, he doesn't say alleged, he absolutely comes out and says it that Levi Page is responsible for the death of Christopher Hallett. So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Now, if Tim Holmseth had anything at all, it would be published in a second. Tim Holmseth has nothing except an overly active imagination and not an ounce of shame on his part. He is the devil incarnate. He lies with abandon, doesn't care if people know about his lies or not. He's going to continue to lie. That's just the way these things seem to work. Um, so that's that's what we're going. And another thing that Holmesett did, which it's stupid, and that eventually is going to get him in a lot of trouble as well, is he is now calling Alexander Goddard a racist, and contacted and threatened former Minnesota judge, blah blah blah. But the problem is, again, he doesn't prove it. Now, there was an incident that Alexander Goddard alluded to, but it is not rape. This is something that Tim apparently does not understand what rape is, because whatever Alexander Goddard claimed to do with the individual who, in fact, attempted to rape a woman is not rape. You know, Holmes is supposed to know shit. Apparently, he doesn't. If he's going to accuse somebody of something, he should at least get what he should be accusing the individual from. And so, again, rather than expose the real traffickers, rapists, and so forth, they attack innocent people because they are incapable of investigative journalism. He sits in his 2012 Nissan Rogue or somebody's living room and just makes this crap up. So, that's about it. I had planned on making this a short live stream tonight because uh, I'm working on stuff and uh, I'm a little bit tied here because there are certain things I have been asked not to talk about because there are things in the works. And because of that, um, I have been unable to put together what I intended to put together, so I've kind of put some things on hold. Now, yeah, this is an interesting post that just came on my chat. Uh, Jessie apparently claims that her grandmother murdered 1,000 people per month. Now, that is an absolute fantastic accusation to make. That someone is capable of murdering 1,000 people per month, and they are a grandmother. I mean, really? Uh, you know, and what's funny is that Jesse is an ally of Tim Homeseth, and people are attacking Jesse. Um, Not sure why, because she claims to be a strong ally of Homeseth and so on and so forth. Yet, um, they're going after her. Which, you know, it's one of these people. One of these things is you don't understand these people and where they get this stuff. All right, that takes care of that. All right, now I'm on camera live for a while. But, this is where we are, is every week there's this fresh offering of lies from Tim Homeseth. And this weird stuff that comes out. Now, there's been a debate about if Tim Homeseth is operating the board or not. There's actually been posts that comes into Telegram claiming that he may still be alive, but he is not the one writing this stuff, that it's his publisher and operatives doing it for him. So, okay, I've been told there's a correction here by Sarah. Timmy's people are not going after Jesse. They are going after Jesse's friend, Madison, but not. But Jesse chose TCH over Madison. Well, that's pretty common. These things happen. People give up their friends for this clown. Well, at least now I know who MM is, because I see that all the time, and I don't know who MM is. Well, Tim Homeseth calls everybody that he disagrees with child trafficker, and that's all he's capable of doing. If they're not making fun of people's appearances over on Telegram, they're lying about people and saying, "Oh, Timmy's got the proof," when he doesn't have shit, never has and never will. And um, Timmy has committed so many frauds that I've lost count. And I've done videos about his frauds, and nobody cares. They say, "Oh well, you know, oh well, that's see, there you go. If you support people that Timmy doesn't like, you're automatically uh, on the shit list." What surprises me here is that Field McConnell has come out and said that he supports David Street. We all remember that video that was made, and yet, um, Timmy won't say anything about Field McConnell. Now, it's my understanding that Field McConnell's going to be back on the air within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And I've been told that his debut is going to be rather interesting, and it's going to be something that Timmy is not going to like. Because Timmy has not been able to produce a statement from Phil McConnell where he still supports Tim Homeseth. So, where is the endorsement by Phil McConnell for Tim Homeseth? It's not there. Oh, I've been told they like my FBI shirt. Well, see, Tim Homeseth has reported that I am working with the FBI and that I am an FBI agent. So I decided to act the part. You know, the CIA hat, the CIA this is all because Tim Homeseth has designated me in these roles. He has stated that I am an FBI agent, a CIA agent, and who knows what else. And so, what are you going to do? And I like the fact that they tune into my live stream and work the numbers for me because, even though they're not welcome, they push the numbers up. And it's going to work to draw more people to this channel, and it's just going to improve it. But, this is people that don't know this, how YouTube operates. Now, another thing that I have found with this group is they have absolutely no concept of what the Finders was. For one thing, they say it still exists, which it does not. And they take and say, "Okay, we don't like you, so you're a Finder." And, this has been done to me ever since Tim Holseth yanked this stuff off the me street media. And they haven't been able to prove it. You know, and of course, it's right in there. They're accusing me of murdering children. And I mean, not alleged, absolutely murdering children, being a rapist, being this, being that. But not one law enforcement officer has contacted me, not state, federal, local, or in any of these jurisdictions around the country. Nobody. If there was a suspect out there that is supposed to be behind these activities, You would think law enforcement would be there saying, okay, come on in. But they don't do that. So it's not true. And they know it's not true. They do it just to be annoying. And in the process, they make themselves look like the Looney Tunes they are because, they just, for whatever reason, are desperate enough to chase after this channel with, what do we got now? 18 people on it. And so, yeah, Lori, that's the thing. This Finders thing did not come about until an article came out where they visited what used to be the Finders. Never came out in Timmy's book, just like Epstein never came out in Timmy's book. I have read Tim Holseth's books. I've got it set up on a spreadsheet so I can index certain subjects, and the Finders is not there. And other things that he talks about in the current context is not on in the book, period. And it's not even on his old blog or his old videos or the new blog. None of it until after 2019. And what is funny about all of this is that uh, I went and took screenshots of my chat. Kind of weird they do that. But they do not question anything as long as it fits their line of thinking. No matter how much proof is given that they are being led astray down the false path and all this, they just ignore it. And they put up stuff that is obviously not true. And for whatever weird reason, they put up screenshots of this very chat. Hi, guys. Enjoy your screenshotting. And I was asked a question by Terminator. Well, I'll tell you what, Terminator. This house is on private property. It is in a private gated community. We have in the state of Florida something called the Castle Doctrine and another law, which basically means that because of the threats and accusations made by Holmseth and Randy Erickson, if they come on my property after they've been told not to, they are going to learn what the stand your ground law is all about. Because all I have to do is show that these people are a threat and it's over. And I've got more than enough proof. Plus, I have ordered these people time and again not to come to this house. Period. Now, I've got a security system where it's motion detected and all that. And if they come here, there'll be a recording of everything. So, FAFO, folks. Hmm. Yeah, and then you can send flowers to her survivors. But the one thing these people do not do, which I don't understand, is ask Randy why she didn't use her real name. Why did she have to hide behind the very appropriate Karen? Why? You know, she's supposed to be this big shot with the PPTF. She is supposed to be a high important publisher and all this. And yet she comes up to somebody's house and said, "My name is Karen." Why can't she say, "My name is Randy Lynn Erickson. I'm part of the Pentagon Pedophile Task Force. I am here because." She doesn't do that. She says, "I'm a publisher." And it's kind of like she's trying to pretend that she is publishing something akin to the New York Times. What she does is she owns a blog and she owns a BitChute channel and a couple of out of this world comment sites on these websites like Telegram and so on and so forth. So, well, yeah, I guess these people don't understand what a Karen is. A Karen is a woman that, is basically someone that throws a temper tantrum. They have videos over on YouTube about Karens, about how they make absolute fools out of themselves by some of the antics that they do. And this is exactly what Randy is doing. Now, oh, I'm a Karen. Now, this is something these people have just, you know, had some things given to them that went over their heads. And I will tell you this, after studying extensively the Mert Punisher account, the pronunciation that's used, the sentence structure, everything in that account before it was shut down, and then looking at what Randy Erickson wrote in her known content online, it's my opinion that Randy Erickson and Mert Punisher are the same people, and that she is going to use the excuse of Mert Punisher to go after not only Timmy's enemies, but Timmy's friends. And that IBT is one, and all these other people are part of it. So while they're mocking me over on Telegram, they are being watched by a Mert Punisher alternative account. And so I have given them the warning. I told them what's going on, and they choose to ignore it at their peril. Because what we had is prior to Randy's little visit to Levi's aunt, I told people on Telegram specifically that the individual that goes by that account is going to start personally going after him. And look what happens. Levi Page. And the person that has that account has no loyalty to sides. That individual will go after everybody. And so they could sit there and think that it's going to be someone coming after me, and they're going to be wrong because they are going to be the targets. And I guess we'll just have to sit and watch and see who the next person is that's going to have someone start going around to their neighbors and saying that this individual is uh, a child trafficker and so forth. And another thing that the Punisher decided to do is that they are going to start putting people's information on adult dating sites and the X-rated dating sites, from what I understand. And so people are going to be really surprised when all of a sudden people start sending them emails and calling them on the phone because of something that is posted on these various sites. But, they want to ignore the message. So, that's fine with me. I really don't care. Um, they would rather pay attention to this channel than to the real problems that are out there. Ignorance is bliss, and boy, these people are ignorant. But that's where we're going here. So the thing of it is I don't know, another thing, because this happened precisely at the time that I learned of this tactic that this Punisher person was going to do, is people on uh, Telegram started complaining that there are naked pictures of them out there. And Tim Holseth declared that someone had, well, David Straight, had naked pictures of Randy Erickson and that he was going to distribute them if he was arrested. Now, the thing nobody questioned here is, where are these pictures coming from? Who took the pictures? Under what circumstances? And was the taking of these pictures voluntary or not? And everybody has stopped talking about it. There was this big thing about the naked photos for about 2 days, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. No police reports, nothing. It's just gone. I don't know if these people made this stuff up or what the story is, but I do know that that certain account is threatening to do just that. And that's why I contacted them, because I don't condone this kind of behavior. I certainly don't condone what Randy Erickson's doing. It's wrong, but uh, Randy has no ethics. She has no morals. And I'm beginning to wonder if she runs her real estate business the way she runs her publishing empire. That is, she is out there screwing her customers because of her lack of ethics. That's a great possibility, because if this is the way someone conducts themselves personally, this is the way someone is going to conduct their business. So there could be people out there in the real estate area that are getting screwed by this woman because she is not an honest businesswoman. Now, whether you want to believe it or not, TimothyCharlesHomestead.com and the high command is a business. They're making money off of people. And if they can do this based on a false premise, then Brandy could certainly do this through her business. She could be screwing people, committing frauds, and everything else with her business. It's an opinion. You can't prove it right now until maybe there's a customer out there that's smart enough to look into how she handled various transactions to see if they got screwed or they were misrepresented in some way. Okay, yeah, this is funny. Uh, they are saying that the pictures came from uh, Luciferians, or whatever they call them, who somehow got into Randy's device. But the question still remains, why does she have naked pictures of herself on her phone? I mean, is she that stupid? Yes. And how did David Straight find out about it? Did David Straight hire someone to go in there and take those images off her phone? Apparently. But the key question again is, why does she have naked pictures of herself on her phone? And what are you going to do? These people can't think. They're going to continue this conspiracy bullshit, and they're not going to try to find out the truth. And in the end, it's going to bite them in the ass, literally, because when they're looking over here at me, they're going to get attacked over there somewhere. They're going to get flanked because they just decide that to believe in crap. And for whatever reason, they seem to think that I'm in the middle of all this. And I'm not. Can't convince them of that. Because, um, number one, I'm not capable of the stuff they tell me that I'm involved in. I don't know how to hack into a cell phone. I know the theory, but I don't know how to do it. And I'm not going to commit a federal crime to go look at pictures of some fat slob. So, nobody wants to answer the question as to how those pictures got on the phone in the first place. They put up little cartoons, diversify all the subject, but they completely ignore the logical questions. How did the pictures get on the phone? How did David Straight get them? And why hasn't a police report been made about the pictures? Because that's another thing. There has been no complaint to law enforcement at any level. Any complaint of this nature would be public information, and it's not there. Nobody has yet to post the complaint about those pictures. So it's all unlikely that they do not exist. That these people are over there just making this shit up because they got nothing else better to do. Uh, General Finn is not important enough to talk about. Lynn Wood is not important enough to talk about. David Straight isn't important to talk about. I'm the only one that's important to talk about on Telegram. And then, of course, you get like 8 million stuff that are um, put out there to spam the channel. And, they say I'm obsessed with her naked pictures. No, I am not obsessed. I really don't care. Because the pictures are likely do not exist. These people come up with the most fantastic lies that I've ever seen on the internet. You know, we had the vice president of the United States that tried to kill him. That's lie number one. You had these 6 Navy SEALs. That's lies number two. And that's another way that Timmy decided to try and get donation money is he had to pay these 6 Navy SEALs. And that belly flopped. And um, we had him begging for his tire on his car. And now he's trying to get a $40,000 car when he's got a perfectly good car and he's running all over the country with this car. If this car was in such bad shape, he shouldn't be driving it. It's going to leave him stranded somewhere. So explain to me why he needs a new car when the one he's got is perfectly fine. These people are stupid. They're gullible. They believe him. I mean, I don't think half the people have met the guy. If these people are stupid enough that they want to go out and buy Tim Holmstead a car, knock yourselves out. Buy him a car. But the thing of it is the charity hasn't budged. Last time I checked, the donations have stopped coming in. So it's going to be a long, long, long time before Timmy sees his car. And we'll know when he gets it because he has to register the thing. So, but that's a challenge to the Telegram people. I mean, you believe in this guy, literally put your money where your mouth is and see how quickly you guys can get the $40,000. I challenge you. If you have that much faith in Timothy Charles Holmeseth that you think he deserves a $40,000 car, then get him his $40,000 car. Oh, and they're accusing me stalking Tim Holmeseth again. Now, these people apparently don't know what a famous person is or a public figure. And I have to keep going over this time and time and time and time again because see, people don't get it. And they talk about stalking, and there's a woman going up to a relative of Levi Page, accusing him of something with absolutely no proof. Timmy, by making the claims that he makes, is a public figure. And again, so these people would understand it is because he is a public figure, because he claims that he is one man between himself and the former president, that is claiming to be a war correspondent, which is another ridiculous thing, and all these things that he claims, his activities, no matter what they are in the matter of public interest. Now, he claims to be visiting Lynn Wood's house and going to all these crime scenes. That, again, makes him a public figure whose actions are in the public interest. It's that simple. If Tim Holmeseth doesn't want people studying everything he does, he needs to knock it off. He needs to quit drawing attention to himself. Has to keep saying that I've solved this crime, I've solved that crime, I'm outing all these traffickers and so forth, because he is setting himself up to be important. He's setting himself up to be a celebrity, and because of that, he is subject to public scrutiny more than me or anyone else on this board. They need to do their homework because it's not stalking. Sitting here talking about Tim Holmeseth behind a desk is not stalking. I'm not going anywhere. I am not capable of driving all over the country looking for this clown. Not that I would be interested. Because all he's doing, he's just running around, taking pictures of himself, copying material from other people, plagiarism. And that's it. He's not doing a damn thing. And these people think, oh my God, he's doing all this work. Look at what he's doing. He ain't doing that. He ain't doing crap. He's the great pretender. He's the great fraud. But, this constant accusing people of things that they haven't done is not solving the issue that they pretend to be interested in. These people do not give a goddamn about missing children, exploited children, about pedophiles that go after children. They don't give a damn because they're not paying attention to that. They're paying attention to this board, some guy that's hardly on the internet at all, a woman that's hardly on the internet at all, and are not guilty of what they are accusing them of. They have nothing, zero, squat. All they have is an overactive imagination and evil intent. Simple as that. And it's unfortunate these people have the resources to do what they say they can do, and that is go out and report on actual pedophiles, human traffickers, child traffickers, so on and so forth. But they can't do it because they're not the least bit interested. It's a little soap opera for them to sit here and attack ordinary people that do not have the resources to defend themselves. This little channel is not doing anything to solve this problem. It has little to no impact at all, practically zero. Their little thing they got going over there is 50 to 60 times bigger than this place, and even they apparently aren't having any impact because they keep coming over here. Okay, the question is asked, why was Holmseth in Atlanta? Tim Holmseth went to Atlanta to barge into CNN headquarters, and they demanded to see someone at CNN. And they wanted to see Nancy Grace, who no longer works for CNN. She's at a different network. So Timmy didn't do his homework there. And they kept going on and on and on, and finally were told to leave or else, and they were escorted from the building. Now, if anyone would go back and find that little picture Timmy had of himself in front of the CNN sign that everybody always takes their pictures in front of, you will notice that there are security personnel in the background watching him. So, this is not a normal practice for security. I've seen tens of thousands of pictures of people visiting CNN. I have been to CNN several times myself, and it's not normal practice for security personnel to hang around at the entrance. So that makes one wonder why, until Tim Holmseth left the property, that it was necessary for security to be out there watching him. So, Timothy cannot get the attention of anyone. He can't get the attention of conservative, right wing pundits, and he certainly can't get the attention of CNN. So, there you go. And they're wasting their time on Telegram because they're preaching to people just as weird as they are. It's like singing to the choir. They have no impact at all on mainstream sites like Facebook, Twitter, any of the other sites. They're over there on BitChute, Telegram, and so forth, spewing their bullshit and having their personal identification stolen by these various websites that are making millions off of these people. The people that own Telegram and own Rumble and Gab and the other sites are making millions upon millions upon millions of dollars on a bunch of people hiding in their little basements spewing bullshit. Because they understood if they gave people somewhere to cry, they would come flocking there like flies on shit. And that's exactly what they're doing. They are the most useless bunch of people ever to disgrace the internet. And as more and more people start to discover just how weird these people are, they are going to avoid them. And you are going to have people like this Mert Punisher who is going to start doing what Randy is doing. And, they're going to get a taste of their own medicine. So, he even tried to look through my mom's camera. Now, I'd like to know how that's possible. One thing I've noticed about these people is they do not know technology. They come up with strange theories. I noticed it in the 5G. Well, I'll tell you this, IBT, since you bring this up. You know Punisher as someone known as Danube Island and an Elizabeth something or other, and various other bots, stock accounts that are on Telegram. And I warned you people months ago that someone was going to be doing this. And I also told you that Mert Punisher had been messaging me for weeks, and that through all of this, she made these threats. And she even suggested in graphic detail um, sexual suggestions about members of Telegram. And you may think that that account is off Telegram, and couldn't be more wrong. She's out there under a different name, probably lurking. And one of these days, she's going to come popping in there, and she may start going after you guys. Every once in a while, I have to back out of Telegram to see, because sure, her account pops up out of nowhere. See, all of a sudden, she'll start private. Well, I'll tell you something, Punisher. Let's see. Yeah, Punisher for Truth. Interesting, you changed your name. The person you think is Astro might not be Astro. Don't be too sure of yourself that it's Astro that is behind that account. Now, it's possible that it is. Anything's possible. But I don't think it is. Because I know what to look for in the post, and I don't think it's Astro. Well, nobody's going to be showing up to arrest me because I haven't done anything. But bring it on. You know, bring it on. You sit there and you make these posts over on Telegram and you never back it up. But, you're going to be sitting there smug and all this stuff and direct all the blame at me, and you're going to get blindsided because it's a person I tried to warn you about. And you're not, when it happens, it happens. And you're not going to know it until it happens. There's not going to be any warning. It's just going to happen. I tried to give you people a heads up that there is someone out there that does not care. Why were you in Plum City on private property? I was not on Plum City on private property. Where did you get the idea? People make these accusations and there's no proof. Give me the damn proof. You say, oh, I got this, I got that. Where is it? So, but, there's not going to be any arrest. So, you guys can sit there and, I've been threatened with Gitmo for 15 years by Timmy, and nothing's happened. The team isn't going to show up. I'll say, hey, you guys want coffee and donuts? Let me know when you're coming, and I'll have it ready for you. Well, where are the security tapes? This is the second time somebody's made this accusation, and they haven't produced the tape. This was made while I was in Minnesota and in Wisconsin, and nobody has come up with the security tapes. Where are they? Well, yeah, you can show what a dirtbag Astro is, but are you going to be able to prove that it is Astro behind these posts? Because it's one of 5 people that I suspect, including Randy Erickson. Until somebody can prove exactly who is behind these posts, it's all speculation. What was I doing in Minnesota? Well, apparently you didn't hear about the Chaos Project. I went to Minnesota to go through the history of Field McConnell and Tim Homeseth, their interaction together, and a research into how Timmy came about, all the criminal conduct Timmy engaged in, all the I talked to the East Grand Forks Police Department about the accusations made against them. I talked to the Polk County Courthouse about the situation up there and so forth. And no, I never met Chad Cater. I've talked to him on the phone and in emails and stuff, but I have never personally met him. But Chad Cater is someone that tried to help Tim Homeseth, and he got bitch slapped for it. I paid for the trip out of my own money. Uh, yeah, I trust the government. Well, there was a trial, or there was supposed to be a trial, and Kim Picasio and Alex went up there because they were material witnesses in the trial. And Tim Homeseth, like the coward he is, ran away. And again, uh, since you seem to have a hearing problem, I paid my own expenses. Nobody paid for the trip. It came out of my pocket. Simple as that. Now, if you don't want to believe that, I don't care. Well, when you consider that Kim Picasio was being stalked, that Timmy was contacting her children and making all sorts of accusations, where he persuaded a guy a year older than me to hold up a severed head of her on a public internet. Well, it's like, why is my expenses your business to begin with? No, Levi is not scared of Timmy. Go talk to Levi. Ask me questions. Ask Levi the questions. I mean, why ask me? I don't know. I mean, he had things he had to do, couldn't get away. But, again, rather than talk about something important, you want to know how I got the money to get to Minnesota and Wisconsin. I saved up for it. I started saving up for this trip that I went up there for on the day that Bill McConnell was arrested, because I knew full well that things were going to hit the fan. I had a reserve fund there in case Tim Homeseth went to court. I was going to just say, okay, then don't ask. If you're going to say everything I say is bullshit, then don't bother to ask. Don't waste my time. Because you're proving just exactly my point. You are not willing to listen to the truth. You will listen to only what you believe. And I don't care. If you want to say I just took $10,000 out of the bank and went to Minnesota, go ahead. You've already, IBT has already accused me of murder. She's accused me of rape. She's accused me of molestation. She's accused me of all kinds of stuff. So she is not going to listen to anything I say. So why these people even bother to come in here is beyond me, because they don't believe anything. They only believe what they want to believe. It's crazy. But it proves my point. And that's, Glow, that's what's so funny. He ran away from a misdemeanor charge. A trivial charge. People get that if they run a stop sign or something, or minor infractions. It's nothing. It's one of the lowest chargeable crimes. You serve 10, 20, 30 days in jail. You may get probation, maybe a fine. That's it. And he could have been a martyr. He could have used that trial to really get his message out there. And he squandered it. Look at Steve Bannon. Look at these other people out there. They are milking the system to get their message out there to millions of people. And what does Timmy do? He runs away. He says, oh, it's a kangaroo court. It's this, it's that. He doesn't have any balls at all. He just runs away, hides in his little car, begs people for money, and that's it. And this is the low standard for these people because he doesn't have to do a damn thing except to either write the material that's on the internet or have people write it for him, and he can sit back and watch the money roll in. He doesn't have to do a blasted thing. And they're over there whining about how much I paid to get up to Minnesota and Wisconsin for a week. Oh, and let's not forget North Dakota. And yet they're perfectly fine with Tim Homeseth begging not only for a $40,000 car, but for additional funds on top of that. He has two separate charities going. He's selling T-shirts. He's got donation sites all over the internet. And they don't care. But they care about how I got to Minnesota 2 years ago. It's hypocritical. And I really don't care. But a great journalist. But that shows you can do absolutely nothing over on Telegram and put stuff up, and as long as you put stuff that they agree with, they'll give you a pass. Simple as that. So, but their posts on Telegram are proof of what I say. They're a cult. They're brainwashed. They believe anything they choose that comes out of their idol's mouth, and they don't question a thing. Nobody over there questions Hemseth at all. They just take what he believes and runs with it. But well, I'm 71 years old. If you want to know, I'm a year younger than Phil McConnell. About 30 days from the end. Oh, really? Is that a threat, Lisa, babe? That I've only got 30 days to live. Well, at least it's nice to know, so I can make plans for my demise. Yeah, 71. Well, and how am I threatening Mr. Homeseth? He has threatened me for 15 years. And his friends have threatened me. Yeah, I took the jab, and I'm going to take the boost in another 30 days or so. I'm not stupid like you people. Calculating how much. What's the milk? You people are digging yourselves a hole, and you don't realize it. And I'm just waiting. My goal is to get Tim Homeseth his $40,000 car. I have a reason for it. And when he gets his $40,000 car, people are going to be in for a big surprise what happens next. Well, I'm going to go get the booster when it's available. I don't need the monkeypox thing because monkeypox is not like the. Oh, now they want to know how much money I make annually. It's $1,600 and change per month for 12 years. So it's easy enough to figure out because I am on Social Security. and I make roughly $1,650 a month. Well, I figured, yeah, here we go. Character assassination. See, that's how I know you people are frauds, when you keep making statements like that. So, well, it's none of their business, but Lori, but they seem to think that I have all this money, and it's easy enough to check, um, because when I was working, I was making the maximum amount that you can get on Social Security. Paying into Social Security. And so I get the highest rate, or close to it, that Social Security pays out. Now, what's funny is the people asking these questions aren't even Americans, they're foreign nationals. Well, I see somebody decide to take my screenshot, and they don't seem to understand how a green screen works. So that's, ignorance is ignorance. And I don't know why it's doing this, but it's doing it. But I guess, the thing of it is, I guess there's nothing over there for these people to talk about. I'm the center of their attention right now. Yeah, they don't have, their numbers aren't that high either. They sit there and whine about me with my 16. They got 29 online right now. So that's considering how many members are in there, that's not too good. Weird. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what. There's some shows I want to watch on TV. It's just time to call it quits. I do appreciate people coming in here. Please like, subscribe, hit the share and notifications, and we'll see what happens next week. It's one of these things where I seem to be the center of their universe. So, anyway, you guys all have a good night. Have a good one. Enjoy your Sunday. And if anything breaks during the week, I'll be back. Good night, all.